Hey everybody, it's Felisa. It is a beautiful night in my neighborhood. I wanted to come and I wanted to just say hi. I haven't been on in a little bit. I don't even know when my last upload was. I'm half listening to the debate, so if you hear that in the background, that is Kamala and Mike going back and forth toe to toe. I'm partially listening. I mean, obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously because some of y'all ain't made up your mind. Anyway, I've already made up my mind, but I do like to stay informed and I do like to hear how the candidates respond to certain questions. Anyway, so like I said, I can't remember when the last time I uploaded, but wanted to come and say hi. How are you? What's up? Because 2020 has been so crazy and so much has been going on with me, and not even anything super major except for the one thing that I'm about to tell y'all about, but just itty bitty stuff that's just been annoying. So I guess the biggest thing is back in August, I got sick, and I woke up with we started off with a sore throat. One of my kids came back from out of town, and I picked her up from the airport, and against my better judgment, when I saw her, because she had been gone for quite a while, she'd been visiting her best friend who was expecting. And so at the time that she went, there was the huge outbreak of the C-19. And so I had been in touch with her every day, like begging her to wear her mask, stay away from, places. Most places were closed. And for the most part, she stayed with her bestie and to a limited extent, her mom. So I get this text from her one Thursday. I just remember it being a Thursday, and all the text was like, "Mommy, I'm sick." So my heart just dropped. I'm like, "What is wrong with you? Come home." And so I'm fussing at her. I'm like, you're 29 million miles away. I can't get to you. And I just have flashbacks of a similar thing happened when I was in Africa, and she called me and she was super sick. She was in Arizona then visiting, her best friend. And so I was on the phone like trying to coordinate her care and sending her back and forth to like the CVS and the minute clinics and all that kind of foolishness. And they kept diagnosing her as an ear infection. Let me tell y'all a secret. This is the child that was breastfed. Like, I didn't get a chance to breastfeed all the other children, but I breastfed her. And subsequently, like, I am the one experience testimony of the benefits of breast milk. Like, this child has never really been sick a day in her life. She might have a cold here and there. She might have, a headache or whatever, but she is probably one of the healthiest people that I know. Her immune system is like A plus, right? I pat myself on the back for that. Anyway, so when she called me and she said she was sick, she diagnosed herself and said that she thought that she had strep. She's had it before, like earlier in high school. She had it before. And so she was sure that that's what it was. She said that's what it felt like. And so she was telling the nurse at the Minute Clinic to do a strep test on her, and she refused. Let me tell you, this is another aside. I keep going down these rabbit holes. Y'all know me. But anyway, when you go to the physician and they don't listen to you, that's the most infuriating thing in the world. And when you are a person of color and you're not being paid attention to, as if you can have no input into your own health and your own care, like that's despicable. So she called me. Well, she had gone. I loaded her card. I sent her the copay that we have to pay. The first insult came when she handed the people her insurance card. She called me. She was like, "Mommy, do we have state insurance?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, yeah, I mean, it's for our state. Like, what are you asking? It took a minute for me to understand that she was asking me, does she have Medicaid? And so I was like, put the person on the phone. And so she put I don't know if it was the nurse or the receptionist or whatever. And she's like, I'm just trying to figure out what kind of coverage she has. Do you have the card? Well, yeah. Does it have a phone number on it? Yes. Did you call it? Well, no. I was like, no, call the number on the card. They could tell you everything that you need to know as far as coverage. Why are you, she doesn't know. She has no idea what you're asking her. So call the number on the card. Do your job. That's easy, right? So we get over that. Again, I'm still in Nigeria. I'm standing literally on another continent, in another country. So she's like, well, it's gonna be $200 to see her. I was like, fine, I'll send the money. Like, I'll send it. She's like, well, we'll reimburse you whatever I don't care. Just I'll send it. So I cash app my daughter, And she walked away with some eardrops and what else did they give her? They gave her something else. Said that she had an ear infection, and I think recommended that she have like salt water gargles for her throat. So she had the prescription filled. The prescription was like another $50. I'm like, all right. So after about 2 or 3 days, she still wasn't feeling better. And so she goes back to, well, she goes to another clinic and they diagnose her with the same thing. This child has asked several times because she have a strep test. They wouldn't give it to her. It took the her friend's sister who was in the same room with her to wake up sick. And when she woke up sick, they took her to her regular pediatrician. And so the pediatrician was like, oh my gosh, yeah, you got strep or whatever. And so my daughter is sitting there like literally in tears begging. Because mind you, she's been suffering this whole time. She doesn't feel any better. She's feverish. She's sick. And so, she's like, could you please just do a strep test on me? I think I have strep. They did a strep test on her. Say that 10 times fast. They did a strep on her, and the results came back so fast that they said that they had never seen a test react like that. So they finally put her on antibiotics, and within a day or so, she was better. Now, mind you, she was there for 2 weeks. So she spent the entire first week sick. So fast forward to now when she wakes up, mommy, I'm sick. I have no confidence in the state of Arizona to actually treat her like they got some sense after this last fiasco. So I'm like, you need to come home. So she changed her ticket. She got home like the next couple of days or whatever. So when she got home, by the time she got home, she was like, I can't smell, I can't taste, whatever. Before I thought about it though, I had swooped her up in a hug. I'm hugging her, kissing her. I'm like, I'm so happy that you're back. Mom foolishness. Put her in the car, get her home. And over the next few days, she really wasn't bad, but she just had a lot of symptoms that were consistent. So I had her do a telehealth visit, and they put in an order for her to go and do the test, but they were like, if it comes back positive, there's really nothing that we're going to do with that information. You just need to quarantine, and you need to wear your mask even when you're in a house. Don't share utensils, blah, 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 blah. It's all about treating the symptoms. So we said, okay, excuse me. 2 weeks to the day, y'all, I woke up like, Jesus, is that you? Listen, I was sick. My throat, I woke up, my throat was on fire. My head was hurting. The fatigue was the worst of it. She didn't have any fatigue, but me, I would just be I was just drenching sweat, trying to make it from the bedroom to the bathroom, just to what you do in the bathroom. It took all my effort, and then I would sit there. Sorry if that's TMI. I would sit there and like hold on to the sink, and it was bad. It was a couple of times when I literally crawled back into my bed. As I started to like try and get my bearings, like I would get up, like I would try and force myself to get up and not just stay in the bed, and I would come in here and I would try and do some work, but my head was hurting, my throat was on fire, I would just be sweating, I was tired. I had what I call mental fog. Like you could tell me something and I go, oh, okay. And then 10 minutes later, I have no idea what you just told me. And I have to go back and ask you. Or same thing with reading. Um, I lost my sense of taste. I lost my sense of smell. So I told my immediate boss that, and she was like, "You need to call employee health." So y'all know I'm in healthcare, so I call employee health. I report all these symptoms. They're like, "Yeah, hey fella, you you need to go and be tested. Go get your brain swabbed." So I go, I get the test. Test is negative. I'm like, okay, well, what's killing me? Because literally, I hear the trumpets, and I'm not trying to go right now. So I get back, that the lake is negative. And so they call me, like, I think the next day, either that day or the next day, to release me to go back to work. Well, when they call me, I'm like, yeah, no. So once I reported on my symptoms, they're like, yeah, we're gonna pretend like you're positive, and this is what you need to do. So I had like this laundry list of stuff to maintain and isolate and all that kind of stuff, and it took me. I think I was probably sick for a couple of weeks, and even now, like residual things will happen, and so even though I had a negative test, to me, it's like having a negative pregnancy test. There's far too many people walking around here whose mama and them had a pregnancy test and it said no at first. So that's the way that I kind of tell that outcome, because I wasn't interested in going to be tested again for what. I wasn't going to do anything different. I wasn't going to, you know, like I wasn't going to change my behavior. I was already quarantining. I was already in the house. I was already wearing a mask. I was already limiting myself to my own utensils. I was pretty much in my room. I was already disinfecting and wiping things down. So I wasn't going to be changing things too much. And so I wasn't interested in doing another brain swab. The other thing was my laptop, like that laptop was only 3 years old. And let me tell you how Apple products are just trash, just complete trash. So the memory, I started to like get this cache error thing. And I'm like calling my son. I'm like, son, what is going on with this computer? It's like, mom, you need to do this, that, and the third. Like, I was literally starting to delete like things like Excel and like things that were taking up large amounts of space because I couldn't store anything on my computer. Then it got to the point where it wouldn't even update. So because it stopped updating, I stopped being able to upload my tubes, upload my videos to YouTube. So I was like trying to record on my phone and my iPad, and it was just all bad, child. And it was frustrating. And so I just decided that I was not going to do that, and I would just wait. And I was trying to research like the best, PC to get, and more bang for my buck. And true to form, I got another MacBook Air. What else? Anyway, so yeah, that's where I am. I'm still working. I'm still, I'm able to work from home a little bit. We are going back to the office periodically. I'm still dealing like with residual, whatever that was I caught back in August, just with the fatigue side of things. But for the most part, I would say I'm about 93% back to my usual and annoying self. And then all the other little stressors of life. My garage door broke. I had to pay to fix that. My dishwasher is on its last legs. My faucet in the sink in the kitchen is got some kind of obstruction in it. I need a new faucet. I'm like, okay, yeah, this gotta be it. Like seriously, this gotta be it. And it's all just annoying, but it could be worse, right? And not that I want it to be worse, it could be worse. So, having brought y'all up to speed on the adventures of Felisa, I wanted to participate in Vlogtober. Well, obviously, I can't do that because it's already like the 7th, and I've missed so many days, and I just don't have the time on my schedule. Oh, speaking of which, another reason that I was often like not having enough time. I think I mentioned that I was getting my certification in life coaching. And so I finished that. Yay. Now I am an official life coach. I'm really excited about that. But I've decided to take some other certifications to kind of enhance that. So in January, I think that I will be ready to go. Way. So yeah, so I don't have a whole bunch of time right now, but I do want to participate in something in October. So I've bought some things. So I'll be doing my try it. What is it? Thursday, Tuesday? One of them. My try it, and then I'll check back in on my transformation, because even though right now I feel like I still look fat, I have managed to lose 10 pounds. And I will not be cheated out of celebrating my 10-pound loss. So I'll be talking about that on Transformation Thursday, Tuesday, whichever one it is. I also have decided that I'm going to, at least for the last week of October, leading up to Halloween, do something that I'm going to call Murder, Mystery, and Mayhem. And I'm super excited about that because I am a true crime fan. I am morbidly curious about all things death, death, kill, kill. So I want to come and I want to discuss some of the more fascinating stories. I want to do it in such a way that is respectful, right? Because these are real people. True crime involves real people. And so I don't want to present like salacious details and stories and things as if real people are not involved. But a lot of those stories are just baffling and bizarre and really fascinating. So, because it's October and we're going into Halloween, I will be doing that. If you have a recommendation or a story that you would like for me to cover, please drop it down in the comments. I would love to hear from y'all. But again, I hope that everyone is doing well. Salute. Have an enjoyable remainder of your week, and I will talk to y'all later on.